We go to the Bernalillo County District Courtroom, where Nehemiah Griego killed his own family. A 15-year-old boy from New Mexico was accused of shooting and killing his parents and 3 younger siblings, and according to a document released to KOB News 4,
after that, we know that the suspect at this time spent the majority of the day with his girlfriend.
The boy initially told his girlfriend that his family had died in a car crash. However, during police questioning, he admitted to shooting his mother, brother, and 2 sisters who were 9 years old or younger.
The suspect went to his church, Calvary, at approximately 8 p.m. on the 19th.
He confessed to waiting to shoot his father, a chaplain in Albuquerque, who wasn't at home during the incident. He spoke to the police without an adult or lawyer present, and it was unclear if he had a public defender. The information about Nehemiah's statements to the police was outlined in a document filed in Bernalillo County Children's Court Division. Nehemiah had been at the church after the incident and told his girlfriend a lie about his family's death. Nehemiah was called to his pastor's office when the girlfriend's grandmother started asking questions. The church officials found the story suspicious and contacted the police.
Our dispatch was contacted at approximately 9:15 on the night of the 19th, and our deputies arrived at the residence approximately 9:25, 10 minutes after the call.
Nehemiah initially told the police that he had come home from a friend's house at 5:30 a.m. and found the door locked. According to the document, he claimed to have discovered his father's body on the ground floor. After finding his mother and brother's bodies on the parents' bed, he took a set of car keys from his mother's purse and drove the family van to the church. When the police arrived at the house, they found 5 bodies, identified as Greg Griego, Sarah Griego, and 3 of their children, Zephany, Jael, and Angelina.
Sarah Griego, the mother, was shot and killed by the suspect at approximately 1 a.m. on the morning of the 19th as she slept. 9-year-old Zephaniah was awake, distraught, and was killed shortly after that by the suspect. It appears that Angelina, the 2-year-old, was killed while sleeping. Jael, the 5-year-old girl, was killed and awake at the time of her killing, is our belief.
Nehemiah faced charges of 5 counts of murder and 3 counts of child abuse leading to death.
The fact that Nehemiah killed his own family reflects just how detached, callous, and brutal he was capable of.
After a judge decided, he got a life sentence.
Late this afternoon, a judge gave Griego that life sentence. He will be able to apply for parole when he is in his early 50s.
His lawyers appealed, saying the punishment was too harsh, but the court said no to arguments. The lawyer said, "It is easy to give up on children who commit terrible crimes and write them off as hopeless. But the truth is that these crimes are rooted in trauma and mental illness, and many of the children involved can and will eventually be rehabilitated." Instead of offering this chance to Nehemiah by finding his 3 life sentences to be cruel and unusual punishment, the Supreme Court's decision means that he will spend his life in prison for crimes he committed as a child. New Mexico should protect children from the cruel fate Nehemiah is now facing, not give up on them. When Nehemiah was brought into the court in 2019, where he was sentenced, his reaction depicted sadness.
I am sorry for taking our parents and our sins. I wish I can take it back, but reality is that we can't.
He apologized to his existing family for murdering his parents and siblings. Can you believe this reaction? Is it possible for such a dangerous teen to accept his crime and apologize? Or do you think he didn't have any other option? Now we move forward to the Valle County Court. Damon Kemp, who was 19 years old, was accused of killing his 2 roommates. His name was tied to an armed home invasion, and the police arrested him. They said that he was connected to the murder of his roommates, Trey Ingram and Jordan Payton, who were also 19. According to a report, Kemp used to be Ingram's roommate at Jade Park Apartment Homes until Ingram told him to leave. Kemp and Ingram also worked out together at the gym. In October, Kemp started living with Quincy Stith on South Beach Street. Stith got to know Kemp while both were at BCU in 2017. Ingram's family shared that he was becoming a good boxer in Daytona Beach and trying to get back into Bethune-Cookman University. He was a student at Santa Lucius High School in Latanya, Pope John Paul II High School in Boca Raton. They also mentioned that Ingram was helping Kemp by letting him stay at his place without paying rent. Damon Kemp ran towards a police officer in Daytona Beach who was looking into a home invasion at Jade Park Apartment Homes. He said, "I killed my friend around 2 a.m., as mentioned in a report released. At that time, Kemp didn't tell the police where he lived. It took about 15 hours for the police to figure out he stayed in apartment 434 at the same place. When they arrived around 7 p.m., they saw a hole from a bullet in the door and a shell casing on a nearby stair. Inside the apartment, they found Trey Ace Ingram and his friend Jordan Payton, both 19, who had been shot many times, according to the report. Not far from where Kemp was stopped by the police, they discovered an unloaded .40 caliber Glock handgun about 50 feet away. When Kemp appeared in court, guards brought him in and shouted about God.
God! God! God!
His reaction wasn't normal. His face and mood seemed strange as the judge discussed the charges against him and what might happen next. The judge decided there was enough reason to believe Kemp had done it.
I do believe that there is probable cause for the arrest, and you will be brought before the felony division judge.
They picked a public defender to help him in future court meetings.
I've appointed the public defender to represent you, so you have a lawyer.
Finally, a life sentence was announced. Now we go to the New York Supreme Court. He was 17 years old at that time, and he was living with his family in Springville. Dylan Shumaker lived with his mother, and his girlfriend lived with him with her 2 children. Back in Springville, New York on March 19, 2013, a 16-year-old named Dylan Shumaker was taking care of his girlfriend Ashley Smith's 2 young sons while she was working at a restaurant. When the night ended, one of the sons was found dead, and Shumaker was arrested for causing his death. It was later found out that he had hurt Austin, the older son, who was almost 2 years old, and sadly, Austin did not survive. "I never wanted to hurt Austin. I never wanted Austin to die," said 17-year-old Dylan Shumaker, who was saying sorry with tears in a courtroom in Buffalo to his 19-year-old girlfriend. The people who decided that Dylan Shumaker was guilty of second-degree murder didn't believe his apology.
Ashley, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your son. And you know I didn't mean to hurt you. You just can't accept that because you know me. You've known me for 5 years.
A judge named M. William Bowler also didn't believe it. He gave Dylan Shumaker the maximum punishment, 25 years to life sentence. Judge Bowler told Shumaker, who had just turned 17, that he knew what was right and wrong when he was 16.
At 16, you knew right from wrong.
He knew it was wrong to keep hitting Austin's head.
At 16, you knew not to keep pounding your fist on that pillow with that little baby's head there.
In the trial, Dylan Shumaker said he hit Austin, who was almost 2, because he was crying and bothering his baby brother. He said he put a pillow on Austin's head and punched it to make him stop crying. The judge said the trial testimony, which is what people said in court, was very sad. People talked about the attack and the severe injuries to Austin's head that caused his brain to bleed and lead to his death. It's not just it. There was medical evidence from the child as well that shocked everyone. The doctor who checked on the child told the court about Austin's injuries. Austin had broken blood vessels in his left ear and near his right eye, bleeding in his retina and perioptic nerve, and bleeding between the layers of the brain. The doctor said Austin's severe brain injury, which led to his death, happened because his head moved violently back and forth from the hits by the defendant. The doctor also said the injuries didn't match a simple fall, but showed many hits. More proof, like text messages, what the defendant said, showed that the child first got hit before 5 p.m.
The brutal poundings of Austin took place.
The defendant kept hurting the child for several hours in the evening. The defendant confessed to hitting the child many times, like slapping him and slamming his head on the ground while changing his diaper. The attacks got worse.
I never wanted Austin to die. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I didn't go for help.
The defendant even put a pillow over the child's head and punched him many times. The doctor confirmed that the severe brain injury caused the child's death. The child didn't live long after getting hurt. Dylan Shumaker looked at his girlfriend, Ashley Smith, and said sorry with tears in his eyes. He told her he loved Austin and felt terrible about what had happened. Finally, he was charged with second-degree murder and 25 years to life in prison.